everyone, and a warm welcome back to the DrMBalmer channel. Now, so some time has passed since the part 4 of the GTX 960, MSI GTX 960 overclocking series, and now I think that it's time to make a part 5. We had some other videos in between, which range from an AliExpress cordless rechargeable light to a Bosch MFQ 3010 handheld electric mixer, to a lot of other stuff, and yeah, those things took up some time for me, and I have now rebooted the system here, and I'm looking at where we stopped. There will be some fan noise in the background here because this is an overclocking series video, so we'll have a lot of fans making some noise. So in particular, we have some fans here, and yeah, so the current state of things, I have Windows updates running in the background, so I can't do some benching right in this very minute here, but while that's running, let's check where we ended up last time. So I can see that in EVGA precision we have a GPU core clock offset set to 205 MHz and the memory to, let's see here, 275. And as I recall it, when I check my notepad here, we start with let's see here, FireStrike. We started to increase the memory offset, settling on a 205 core offset, and going all the way to 300 mem where we crashed, and then we dialed back to 275, which gave us our highest score. And that's about where we stopped because the video was getting very long, and so. But yeah, so in FireStrike I believe we don't have the top score. We haven't managed to do a golden run, but I believe we were in 3rd or 2nd place maybe. We'll have a look at that. And then on TimeSpy we also did some core overclocking, very fine grained here, and we also realized that turning on an external fan that pushes air into the GPU so that it doesn't use any of its TDP headroom for spinning fans is a good idea, it seems. And then we managed to get the core clock up to 209 or so, but we settled on a 205 core there as well. 200 mem was the highest we tried there, and we had a score of 2451, which was, and I believe still is, a world record for the CPU and GPU combination, which in this case we have the AMD A10-7850K overclocked to 4.45 or so, and we do have some BIOS profiles left to try, which clock higher, but we will try to do as much as we can without introducing potential instability by applying those profiles yet. So I'll try to exhaust some other aspects of the overclocking first, more related to the GPU itself. So yeah, and since we stopped at 200 mem here in TimeSpy, I believe because we already had the world record here, so we focused on FireStrike, which was a little bit harder to get up to a golden run or something. So let's do recap online to see where we're at currently. Today is a Monday, the 29th of January 2024. So quite some time has passed. I believe last time we looked at the overclocking series, we were back in end of November maybe, last year, 2023. So yeah, let's have a look online and see what we have there. So starting with the 3D Mark FireStrike overall score, GTX 960, GPU count 1, but I think all these are for 1, AMD A10-7850K. So let's see here. Yes, DrMBalmer, November 21st. Yeah, 6349. So we managed to push the fakey score down, but we do have one fakey score left at 6404. So we need to gain about, yeah, 55 points or so, or maybe my math is off, I don't know, 50, yeah, 5 points. While if we choose TimeSpy, we got 2451, which is not a whole lot, but 19 points or so, points ahead of the previous leader. So but on TimeSpy we'll still have some memory headroom, I believe, to try, because we stopped at 200 mem. So that's the state of things. And since we already have a TimeSpy world record, we should maybe continue with the FireStrike and see if we can't get this golden run somehow. It's been buggering me there for a long time while I've been doing other videos and stuff, so it would be nice to get it done if we manage. It's still a bit to go here, but yeah, we can try. So 6404 is the score to beat, and 6349 is our current best. So we haven't tried anything between 275 and 300 crashed. And also we could try to lower the GPU core offset to say 200 and see if we can maybe increase the memory a bit more, because I didn't see artifacting on the memory. Even at 300 megahertz where it crashed. I think we crashed maybe because of a power target limitation. We only have 108 power here percent available, so yeah. But we could try, for instance, 285 memory. So yeah, let's try that, but I will just have to wait for this stuff to finish. So just give me one moment, please. Alright, so yeah, I've had some issues with the Windows update, and so it took a whole day, and I haven't got it completely solved, but yeah, I believe we're in a state now where we can do some runs, at least. So yeah, I've set the memory to 285 offset on the VRAM, and we're at 205 clock on the core. So let's run FireStrike, right? Yes, and see what we get. Oh yeah, we didn't crash, and I saw some pretty good frame count, so 6396. Well, I believe that is a new best, and by quite a margin actually. So let's have a look. So yes, indeed. Quite a margin here, from 6,349 on a 275 memory offset to 6,396 on 285 mem offset. GPU went up from 8558 to 8615. Physics also increased by almost 80 points, and combined score was pretty good as well. So yeah, let's check online, shall we? Yeah, 6396. Well, we're 8 points away from a shared golden spot here, but of course we will still be second. But since our score came later, but in that case. So 9 points we need. 9 points in FireStrike. Now, yeah, 9 points. So, but this is very good. We're almost first. Let's see on the graphics score. So here we have a bit left to do. 8615, then we're 7th. 8747 is the highest. Physics score 8050. No, let's see. There. 5392. And the highest is 5513, but we haven't applied the most aggressive overclock profile in the BIOS yet either. So combined score 2630 on number 1, and we're at 2415, placed 10th, but also we're not yet on the most aggressive system BIOS overclock profile either. But 9 points for the overall score, so we shall open the precision again, and so 285. How about 290 then? Because 300 was a no-go. So let's try this and run again. Yeah, 218 I saw, I think. So this should be a decent score, I think. Once again. So 6382. That's lower than 6396, I believe we had. So a little bit of a regression, but let's have a closer look. Yeah. So mainly we lost in the GPU and physics section here. Combined score is pretty stable. So yeah, we lost a little bit on the GPU score, but maybe 290 isn't a very good setting, so let's try 295 then. $300 crashed some while ago when I tried it in a previous part. So let's try 295. Apply, save, and let's do a rerun. Yeah, so this crashed while loading the last test, it seems. So something about having a high setting there on 295 on the memory. I didn't see any artifacting, so that's but should we verify just a theory a little bit quickly? So how about let's set this to, yeah, it crashed in 295. Let's just note it down first. Yeah, something like this. Crash while loading combined test. So on 295 mem. So yeah, and on 300 mem we tried it after 250 at some point in the previous part in this series, and it crashed on GT1. So how about just test a theory? Let's take this down a bit, 200, and instead we increase memory to 300. See if we get some, if it's some TDP issue, for instance, that we make the core not request too much voltage and thereby power. So yeah. And then run this again. Yeah, you know what? We didn't crash. So dialing back the core offset. Yeah, 6389. It's still lower, but bear with me. So I have crunched the numbers, or at least entered them. So I have a new section here, trying to lower core offset to get more available power limit to mem. And 200 core, 300 mem, no crash. Well, we crashed at 295 mem and 300 mem previously. So 6389 is still an improvement from 6382, and only 7 points away from our highest score. GPU 8603, so we have increased from the 290 mem run at least, and yeah, we do have 12 points still to gain on a GPU to reach our highest. And then 5368 on physics, which is our highest. 5368 we haven't seen before. No, we have 5383, sorry. but we're closing in again, and the combined score 2417, which I believe is our highest. 2417 we haven't seen before. Alright, so this is very good news, because it means that we might have some headroom. Yeah, I mean, we are restricted, obviously, on the power limit. So 305, shall we try that? And still 200 on the offset. And let's run again. Yeah, so we still didn't crash 305 offset. I don't know what the score will be like, but let's have a look in a few seconds. 6387. So we're hovering around the same numbers, but I don't know if that's the complete truth. So let's have once again a closer look. Yeah, it's not as bad as we might think from only the overall score alone. So we're basically at the same score, but GPU score keeps climbing up, 5 points extra now from last run, and at 300 mm offset. We're not quite at 8615 yet, but we're only 7 points away. Also physics 5382, which is almost the same, the highest we've had. So that's good. And combined score was the one falling down 10 points in this run. So maybe we have some run-to-run variance, and we're increasing by 5 MHz steps now on the VRAM. But I think that I mean, we lowered the core clock by 5 MHz offset, and we have been able to increase yeah, from 290 because 295 crashed, so from 290 stable to 305 stable, which is 15 MHz extra on the MEM. So I think that when my new theory here, that while on the core we're sort of at the edge of stability, even because we started with only core overclocking, not touching memory up until 213 core, 210, 205, and then we'll settle back to 205. We had some flickering at 213. So we have a volt frequency curve, and on that curve it goes sort of, it logarithmically evens out as we sort of continue to increase the voltage. We don't get as much frequency out of it anymore, or the other way around. For a given frequency we need a much higher voltage, and at some point it will be sort of undoable because of the logarithmic curve, volt frequency curve. So therefore, on the edge of stability on the core alone, I believe the card, the GPU core itself, requires quite a bit more voltage and thereby power, and we're hitting the TDP limit. But by lowering the core offset by only 5 MHz, we're substantially lower on the volt frequency curve, I believe. So the GPU core itself maybe isn't requesting as much power anymore, and at the same time, at an offset of 290 or 300 mem, the increase of 5, 10, 50 megahertz there isn't I mean, their requested voltage and power for the memory chips aren't maybe as huge, especially at these levels, maybe in the volt frequency curve. We haven't seen any artifacting or anything like that yet, so So that's a theory, but I don't know where it will crash. Yeah, let's continue the search. Do I dare try 315? Memory is a bit awkward. Sometimes you get a good sort of strap frequency, sometimes not. But let's try 315. Right, so we didn't crash once again at 315. And hang on a minute. 6407. 6407. What was the best score? It says a legendary here, but I don't see the values. But before we compare online, what was 6404? That was the highest. Is this the gold run, or was it 6409? All right, let me bring up my sheet. All right, getting pretty excited here, I must admit. So yeah, 350 mem, 6407. We passed the 6400 barrier at least, and GPU score is 8623, which is a new highest. 8615 was our previous. So we have clearly passed on the GPU the trade-off between higher core and higher mem for FireStrike. So the volt frequency stuff seems to make some sense, at least to me, because we sacrificed a little bit on the very edge of the volt frequency curve for stability regarding the core of the GPU, while being able to increase a whole lot more on the frequency on the memory, because there we're still in a very efficient part of the volt frequency curve. That's the theory, and it seems like it's paying off, at least. Physics 5370, which is a bit lower than 5382, so it took a hit there. But the combined score is a really nice new best, I believe, 2430. So yeah, now let's compare online, I think. Right, so we're online here, and yeah, holy cow. Yeah, for real. We have oops. Yeah. This is unbelievable. We have done it again, what we did with the GTX 950. If you haven't watched that overclocking series videos, then please do so, and we have done it again. We have snatched the golden spot in the results page, or Hall of Fame, for the CPU GPU combination of an AMD A10-7850K and the GeForce GTX960 in both FireStrike and TimeSpy for overall score there. Alright, so yeah, the Swiss fakie has been beaten. It took 8 years from 2016. It was January 28th, 2016, and now it's January 30th, 2024. So yeah, very, very nice. GPU mem clock 1912. So we're pretty high there. Someone had 2053, but maybe a very low clock on the GPU. Yeah, so really, really nice. So let's see where we end up on graphics score now. There we are, 8623. Yeah, we had a failed run here. Maybe that was the 295 offset on the mem while we had 205 core. So we have quite a bit left to do there on the graphics score if we want to manage to get a higher position here as well. And 6th place right now. And let's see the physics score. Physics score is where do we have physics there? 5392 was our highest, and but that was a while back. Yeah, and then the combined score. Let's see here. 7th place. Previously 10th, so we have made a jump there to 7th place at 2430. Alright, but we're not on our most aggressive overclocking bias profile either. So yeah, but this is really nice actually. So checking the overall score, of course we, I mean this is extremely pleasing to see. I must say that we did manage by 3 points to beat the previous leader. So let's see if we can increase the lead, maybe, and but also let's have a look at TimeSpy. Maybe we can do a run on TimeSpy with these settings. So where we have dialed back the GPU core and increased the mem to 315. So our current best score is from November 21st last year, 2451 overall points. So we are in the first position there. But let's see the other scores. Graphics score. So yeah, so graphics score we have 2520, and we need to reach 2659 if we want to do some real damage here. That is quite a bit to go there. The overall score being the most important, obviously, but yeah, we can't just leave everything else. CPU score 2150. We're at the golden position in TimeSpy for the CPU score already. Yeah, the second best is at 2055 points, and we're at 2150 there. So yeah, let's yeah, 6407. Oh yeah, I wanted to run TimeSpy. Let's see if it runs. I will not change anything here, so 200 offset on core and 315 on the mem. And let's see here what we get. We'll check the frame counter a bit closer up, and in GT1, graphics test 1, around 925 frames gave us our previous best results. So let's see here. If this runs, we might crash. TimeSpy, as far as I can tell, is a bit more taxing on the GPU. But we have dialed back the core. Of course, memory is higher now. So let's see, 925 or so. Oh yeah, that was over 930, 935 maybe even. Yeah. So 1052 was a good run previously. Let's see if we can beat that. Oh yeah, that was like 1060. And now only the CPU test left. Yeah, it's about the same. CPU doesn't change much because we're at the same clocks, but we didn't crash, and I saw some good frame counts there, I think. So very exciting. 2472. 2472. Yeah, hang on a minute. 2472. I believe that is good. Let me bring up my notepad sheet as usual. Yes, my friends, indeed. Last run was 200 mem and 205 core on TimeSpy. So now we have dialed back to 200 core, 315 mem instead, which is a whole 150 megahertz more on the mem, and we got 2472, which is 21 points higher in TimeSpy, which is that's quite a lot in TimeSpy. So TimeSpy's values are only in the 2000s here, so 20 points is pretty good. That's like a 1% increase in overall score here. And then GPU 2542, so we have increased to 22 points there as well. CPU 2143, so we have we've had 2142 once, and now we have been able to increase to 2143, but we've had 2146, 2147, so we're hovering around there. And I believe the CPU test is run-to-run variance at this point before we enable some more aggressive overclock profile in the BIOS. Now let's check online, shall we? Because I believe this should be a new highest score, if our previous highest was 2451. So let's check online. Okay, 2472 is indeed a pretty So we've extended our lead to the next person on the list here, 2432. So that's great. Now let's check graphics score. We're still not at 2659, but we're now in yeah, we didn't pass anyone on the graphics score. 2542. So yeah, and then let's see here. CPU score, I believe, will be, yeah, we still have the top spot there. So yeah, graphics score, we need to do something more, but 2472, could 2500 points be within reach? That would be a milestone as well, as far as extending the lead goes. But at least we have done this, and that's not bad at all. So yeah, but let's do we dare set, I don't know how much I dare to increase here in one step. I mean, 325 at 10 megahertz. We also don't know which memory strap frequencies are the best, so 315 was good, it seems. So let's try 325, and let's go with the FireStrike again. We have more to do there. In part to increase the lead. We only have 3 points lead currently on the overall score, but we do have some work to do on the other score types, graphics score and combined score and stuff, physics. So, and then on Time Spy we also have a little bit of work to do there, but Time Spy we have a greater lead already in the overall than on FireStrike. Alright, we didn't crash at 325. And we got 6405. Now what does that mean? It means we are a couple of points lower, right? Best is 6407, it says. Yeah, let's do the standard procedure. Yeah, so we got 2 points less than our highest previously, and GPU 8623, which is the exact same score as our previous best run, our golden run. So we didn't move a single point there on GPU, but I mean run to run variance. Physics increased 5 points, combined score decreased 5 points. So we're sort of evened out there, but it seems that combined score, yeah, this one fell more percentually than the physics, because here we are in the 5000s, while the combined score we're only in the 2000s. But it's a good thing that we didn't regress in overall score. I mean, this is clearly run-to-run variance. 2 points on 6400 is not a whole lot, so great. Let's do this in Time Spy then, shall we? See what it thinks about it. Alright, we didn't crash, and we got 2468. So 2468 is a little bit lower, not a whole lot, but something is clearly lower. Yes, we can see pretty much the same thing going on here with a couple of points lower on the overall score. GPU is a few points lower, CPU is a few points lower, so yeah, same effect. Maybe we need to find another better strap frequency. So 325. Do we dare try 350 right off the bat? There's a huge increase, so yeah, let's run time spy again, and with a 350 mem. I saw frames in the 940 range, so that's good. Previously, highest I saw was 935 or so. So about 1060 was our highest in this test for a stable run. So 1060. Oh yeah, that was 1065 or so. So we did not crash, and not only did we not crash, we achieved a new best score, as we can see here. So yeah, 350 on offset on the mem did run. I mean, considering we crashed at 295 mem previously, this is huge. So let's enter the numbers. Yeah, for sure. This did a whole lot. So 350 mem. We increased quite a lot here, and 15 points, I believe, or so on the overall, and GPU score increased quite a lot as well. CPU score 2151 is very good, if not the best we've had. 2150 I can see here we've had. Yeah, looking good actually. Let's see online what this means. Yeah, 2483. Now we're getting somewhere. That's 51 points away from the previous leader on the overall score. So that's always good. And then let's see what it looks like on the graphics score side of things. Yes, 2151, let's see here, 2553 graphics score from 2542. So yeah, not quite the bronze around there yet on the graphics score, but closing in. Our GPU mem is 1928, and these ones had higher there, so maybe we have some headroom left. But actually, let's I'm just interested to see overall score So 2483. Let's what if we would compare with the GTX 970? 2843 3660. Okay, 2843. Let's see here. Yeah, the one on the 100th place on a GTX 970 is 2878. 2878. So 2878, and we were at 2483. So yeah, closing in on 970 class performance, almost. Not really, not quite, but getting there. So let's try to run 350 on the MEM on FireStrike. Hall of Fame top 5, 78,274 in the overall best for FireStrike, but that's not with a 960 or an AMD 7850K, of course. So yeah, but let's let this run and see where we end up. What was our maximum? 6407, 6389. So something wasn't perfect in this run here. So let's have a look. Yeah, we lost on the GPU side of things a little bit. Maybe 350 mem isn't very good for FireStrike specifically. So let's see if we can. Maybe it's run-to-run thing, but let's see if we can push it a bit more, or if we start artifacting, maybe we're decreasing for that reason. But we got good scores in TimeSpy on 350, so 375, that's also a pretty huge increase, but maybe that's a better strap. So let's try that. Yeah, the round did complete, and let's see what the score will be like. Have a semi-good feeling. $63.97. It's still not over 6,400, but it's not. Everything is not so bad, I believe. We're increasing again. Yeah. So interestingly enough, the combined score and the physics score are both the same. GPU increased 86 to 8600. So we're back on track, but we need a good memory strap, I believe. So let's focus for a minute on FireStrike and try to find a good strap. So 375, let's try 385 maybe. But I mean, we're getting quite the frequency bump from having lowered the clock here on the. I mean, on the VRAM, we're getting 375 we ran. We only decreased the GPU clock by 5 megahertz. So let's see if 385 can do any difference. So 6401, right? We're getting over 6,400 again, which is good. So analyzing the numbers a bit, 6401 by getting a GPU score of 8608. So we got 8 points on the GPU score of things, side of things. Physics 5 points more, and 2427 combined. So yeah, we're slowly increasing, but we're not quite there yet. So we need to let's see here, 23, I don't know, 95. All right, let's give it a shot. Well, not only did this run 6440, that's huge. I really mean huge. So yeah, this we have to look a bit closer at. Indeed, 395 mem was a good strap, good frequency, or a good run, I don't know, but we can see that yeah, 395 was nice. 6440, that's a whole lot better than 6407. It's a huge leap. And GPU score 8693, that's the best for sure. 8623 was our highest previously. Physics 5387, also very good, perhaps the highest. And combined 2430, also very good. We had it once before, I see. So let's have a look online and see what all of this means. Yes, online then. 6440, that's massive. I mean, we're the fakey one was 6404, so yeah, 36 points above that. And let's see the graphics score. 8693. Yeah, that's second place now. We're not far off from the golden run, so we have passed all of these people here in one go. So that's really nice. And physics score, let's have a look there. Placed 8th, but that's still an old score. 5392, right? Yeah. Alright, and combined score. Where are we? There. Placed 7th. 2430. Yeah, it's the same score, but we got it first on 6407, the 2430. So yeah, great. We'll try these runs on Time Spy later as well, but currently this is very nice. 6440. Let's see if I mean, we're almost 400. We have to try 400, right? It's a good round number. So let's run it and see what the effects are. Yeah, so having done a rerun here, I got 6430 just to see sort of the run-to-run variance. And it can be quite huge, it seems, so which is both good and bad, of course. So 6430, that's 86, 86, physics 53, 61, and 2428. Yeah, so we did a oh wait, no, this was 400 mem, sorry. I didn't record. Okay, but let's say that this was the we had a 64 or something else, right? Yeah, but let's keep pushing it, I suppose, and let's stay in FireStrike for now, maybe. Let's try maybe 415 megahertz there, and run again. Yeah, so it seems we crashed, and the question is now then, should we decrease core a bit more, or and increase memory? Let's have a little think. Yeah, so I have given it some thought, and actually I realized that this video is pretty long now, and we have achieved great things. Well, first of all, we did get the world record in FireStrike as well now, as we did in TimeSpy. And I think that's a good way to end this video, maybe. And in that way, I can continue to have a think. And this is not the last part. We will continue. I'm sure we'll get some more ideas. We have a pretty straightforward path for now. Um, I think that lowering the core clocks and increasing mem is a good continuation to try and see if it still pays off or not, and where will it not no longer pay off. Um, Very interesting to find out. So yeah, but it was a great session, and I hope you enjoyed it too. And look forward to upcoming videos, both in the overclocking series as well as other videos on the channel. So stay tuned, and thank you everyone for watching, subscribing, commenting, and have a nice day. Bye bye.